Hey guys, welcome back again to another video in this series of Python for beginners. And for today's topic, we have two topics to discuss today. First would be Boolean and the second would be conditional statement. Now, what exactly is conditional statements? As the name suggests, conditional statements are those statements in which we test the condition. So we'll be discussing about if else, if and nested if and the if else ladder. So this is the topic for today that we are going to discuss. So before diving right into the video, I would like to request, you know the drill, that kindly subscribe and like this video and subscribe my channel. So without further ado, let's dive right into the video. So the first point of the Boolean is that it can have only two types of values. So two types of values are there, true and false. So apart from this, nothing else. So the syntax looks like this. Syntax is like you have to have a one value. Let's say you have given a variable in which you have given true. In the second one, you have given false. And if you'll try to print the first value, it will print true and the second will print false. So this would be the result. We'll take a demo for this as well. Python also has a bool function which allows you to evaluate any value and give you the result accordingly in a true or a false form. So that's how Boolean works in Python. Let's move to the conditional, and the first would be the if statement. So you can see on my right is that we have a flowchart for it, and let's try to understand it through the syntax. Now, if condition if gets fulfilled in the first one, then the statement 1 will be executed, and if it does not happen, then the statement 2 will be executed. Now let us try to compare this. When the flow comes from here, the control goes over condition. So if the condition is true, the conditional code, which is statement 1, it will get executed. Otherwise, if condition will be false, then it will go over here and then the code will be ended. So you can see that it looks like the simple statement 1, statement 2, but there is an indentation over here. So indentation matters a lot in Python. If you do not pay attention to it, your results can be different, or even if your program won't even run. So make sure that the indentation is perfectly fine. And that's why I told you that you can use Visual Studio Code, because it takes a lot of care on the indentation part, and without even executing the program, it will explain you that the indentation is wrong and there is something wrong with your program. So this will help you. Anyway, on the note side, it is written that here, if the condition is true, if block will consider only the statement 1 to be inside its block. So that's how if works. Moving on to the if else statement. In the if else statement, you can see this diagram, and let's try to understand it through the syntax. So in the syntax, if condition if gets fulfilled runs this block if the condition is true, else this will run. So this code block will be executed. So you can see in the diagram, the control will come from here, it will test the condition. If it's false, it will go to the else code after if code, and then it gets executed. Otherwise, if the condition is true, it will execute the if code, which is this one. So I hope you have understood it. Let's move on to the nested if. Nested if statements mean as an if statement inside another if statement. How does it work? Let's try to understand it through the syntax and the diagram. So if there is an if condition, it runs when the condition 1 is true. It will move to condition second, runs when condition second is true. Internal if block ends here, external if block ends here. Now, the code block, you need to understand how much, like kind of a scope kind of a thing. So this if block ends over here, the control ends over here, and for this block the controls end over here. And after that you can use different other different like elif and stuff we'll discuss about in the next slide. Now try to understand this through this flowchart. The control comes from here. If the first condition is false, and it will directly jump to after if code, and then it will execute that. But inside that, if there is a condition which turns out to be true, it will execute that code. And then inside that, you can have one more if block in which it will test whether false or true. If it's false, it goes outside and runs the after if code. If it's true, then another if code is executed. We'll see that in a demo. Let's move to the last one, which is if elif else. So the if statements are executed from top to down. As soon as one of the condition controlling the if is true, the statement associated with that is executed and the rest of the ladder is bypassed. Now how do we say that? So this is the syntax. Let's try to understand this. So there is an if statement. If the condition is met, statement will be executed, the whole ladder will be skipped. In elif, if this is met, whole ladder will be skipped, and you can use elif. Do not start your code with elif. Always start with if. You cannot use that elif in the first place. and then you can use any number of that, and then after that else, and the statement will be executed. Let's move to the flowchart. So the control is coming from here. Text expression 1, if gets executed, yes, then statement 1 will get executed, jumps over to the if after if else block, and then perfectly runs. Otherwise, if no, this will again do the same thing which was done over here. No, then it will jump to test expression 3. Otherwise, yes, then it will jump the whole ladder. Same over here, yes and no, jump over ladder. And if these three conditions are not met, then it will go to body of else, and then it will just execute the code after if else code. And that's how it works. It can be a little bit intimidating right now, but whenever you see the code, you'll be able to understand. We'll take that in a demo. And one more thing, all of this code is committed into a repository which is on my GitHub, and I have given the link in the description box. You can check it out. You can either clone this, or if you want to write your own program, that's perfectly fine. It is recommended, and then you can learn that. So let's dive right into the demo part. So what we'll do, I'll just open my okay. So I've created two folders over here, Boolean and the conditionals. So let's see the Boolean first. So what we'll do is we'll just open this, and let's see where are we right now. Let me just clean this. Okay, where I am right now. Okay, it's PowerShell, so that's why CLS rain. You can use either PowerShell, you can use Git Bash, you can use command prompt or something. I'll use command prompt over here. And where we are right now, so let's dive right into the 07 folder. Okay, we are here right now. Let me just drag it over here. Perfect. Now let's run this program. This is 01 tab. One second, what did I do wrong? Okay, so I have run this program, the first one. So the first thing that it gave is true over here, one value. Second value is false. I have printed the first value, which is true. Second value is the value which is false. Then whenever we are trying to use this bool over here, it will print we are trying to test hello. So most of the time it gives value over true value. So hello, 15, minus 15, and 0. So these three will give positive values, which is true. You can see over here, and in the print bool 0, it will give the value which is false. Why? Because 0 gives the false value. So that's how it works over here. But if you talk about any list, tuple or tuple, you can say set and dictionary are true except the empty ones, which you can see over here. It's quite confusing right now. What is tuple, what is set, what is dictionary, what is a list? In our next few videos we'll discuss about this, but right now you can just understand it through that whatever value it will give. Okay, so now what we'll do is we'll try to print these values. So let's type print over here. Okay, and we'll try to print this value, and let's see how it works. So I'm quite sure that everything of these will give the same value. So let me print this, let me print this, control V, control C, control C, control V. Okay, now let's close this. The scope has to be closed. My bad. The scope, let me copy this as well. Let's go to the top, control V, control V, control V, control V, here control V. Perfect. Now let's run this program again and let's see how it works. And you can see that all the last 7 values are false. Why? Because any list, tuple, set in the dictionary are true except the empty ones, and these are all empty. So that's how this function works. So I hope you have understood it. Now let's dive right into the conditional statements. Let's go to the if statement. Let me clear this. Now I have to use clear because I am in CLS. Now it is clear. Now I have given, I'll just illustrate how to give a shorthand if. So this is a shorthand if. How does it work? You just give it in one line. Num equal to 100. Num is greater than 150. Is it greater than 150? Let's see. Let me give a value 150 over here. And let's try to run this. I'm sorry, I have to come back. 02. Okay, now I have to go in the 8th folder. 08. Sorry, I have to go CD 08 tab, enter. Let me clear this. Perfect. Now I'll run the program 01, hit tab, enter. and you can see the num is less than 150. Why? Because 100 is less than 150. Just a one liner, you haven't done anything. This is called as a shorthand if. Or what we have discussed is a equal to 100, b equal to 20. If a is less than 150, you will print this. If otherwise, you will print this. So is a is 150, 100 is one greater than 150? No, right? So it will print I'm not in if, and this is what it is printed. Now b is greater than 150. Yes, obviously 200 is greater than 150. Then it will print this. So print 200 is greater. Now once make sure that this is indentation. Okay, so this is something you need to take care of. Otherwise, if you remove this, there could be a problem in your program. This will anyway will be executed. Why? Because the control whenever goes from here, it will print over here. If the condition is fulfilled, then it can be skipped, which is what just happened in this one. Okay, so this is what is happening, but this code will anyhow run. Okay, so this is perfectly fine. Let's go to if else statement, and let me close this. Let me just do a CLS over here. Now I have given a number high with 200. So if high is less than 150, so high is less than 150? No, right? 200 is not. This will not be executed. It will say high is greater than 150. High is in else block. And let's try to understand this. Or you can write, like, this is also called a shorthand if else. You can write it in one line. Print true if a is less than 15, else print false. So let's see how this works. The program number is 02. Enter, and you can see high it's greater than 150. High is greater than 150. This is skipped. Why? Because 200 is greater than 150, obviously. Else high is greater than 150. This is executed, else block. Now print high is not in if and not in else block. Why? Because this is your code block, the concept I was explaining. This is the code block, and this is the code block. Now this print is out of if and else, so this will anyhow get executed. So that's why it has printed over here. And the short one, print true if a is less than 15. A is less than 15, so a is 10 over here. It is less than 15, yes, otherwise it would have printed false. So I hope you have understood the if else part. Let's go to the nested if, and let me clean this. Now a equal to 100. So if a equal to 100, you have to use this one whenever you are comparing the value. So make sure you have used this. Is a equal to 100? Yes, obviously. Then first if statement would be if a is less than 150. Yes, a is less than 150. Then this will be printed. It will go over here. If this is nested if, so if inside if. Okay, so if a is less than 140, yes, it is less than 140. A is smaller than 142. Okay, you can give a comma over here. This is the right way. Else print a is greater than 150. Okay, let's run this and how this works. A is smaller than 150 because 100 is smaller than 150 and 142. That's how it works. Had it been like 150 over here, this would have printed. If you want to see, I can just type it and see. Control S. Let me run this, and you can see there is no result because this if has this whole block. This if has only this much block. This if and this one is one block. So that's how it works. So that's why it got executed. I want you to copy this program, clone this program, and understand how this is working. Had it been like this over there, otherwise else would have got. So if you want to try, I can do that as well. Now let's try giving a value 150. Let's see how it works. A is greater than 150. What happened? Now this if is only this block. We just removed it from that block. Now else is over here. This if block is this much. This if block is this much. And this is L out of this block. And that's how it works, guys. I hope it is very much easy for you to understand. Let me just control Z over here because it makes people for easier to understand. We save it. Let's go to if elif. The ladder. We clean this. A value is 200. If A equal to 100, no, it's not, right? A equal to 150, no. A equal to 100, yes. So this will be printed. Otherwise, this would have been printed if these things have not been matched or fulfilled. So let me run this 04 tab enter. A is 200. Perfect. And this is how it works. So I hope you guys have understood it, because this is very easy to understand. You can just clone this program and try to understand, or you can write your own conditions and program. Internet is full of it. So thanks guys. If there is an issue, feel free to comment below and we will address that. So thanks guys, and I'll see you in the next video.